The algorithm. Maya barely remembered sleep. Her nights had become a parade of glowing screens, open tabs, and the eerie silence of her apartment. She'd always depended on technology to keep her loneliness at bay, scrolling through feeds until dawn, listening for replies to texts she never sent, letting the noise cushion her thoughts. But for the last week, the comfort was gone. It began with a new friend suggestion, a profile with a blurry photo, distorting pixel static over a mouth that stretched too wide. The username was a jumble of numbers and half-words, N0 Thinglone Kesu. Normally, Maya ignored spam. This time, curiosity made her tap, just once. The profile offered no posts, no followers, but the empty space unsettled her. That night she received a DM, "We see you." She blocked the account. By morning another appeared, then another, each bearing a warped image mimicking her own face, her eyes, her smile, but twisted out of shape. Hourly DMs arrived, each more intimate. "You're alone, aren't you? We remember what you did. Why don't you call your family anymore?" Messages vanished if she tried to screenshot. Her calls went unanswered. She assumed it was a troll or a sick joke, but the wave of dread refused to subside. Sleep was impossible. Whenever she closed her eyes, she saw that pixelated smile, flickering in the dark corners of her dreams. At 3:13 a.m., her phone vibrated. A message glowed on the screen. "Have a nice sleep, Maya. We'll be watching you tonight." She unplugged her phone, pushing it under her pillow. The apartment felt colder. Maya blinked at the ceiling, trying to remember when she last felt alone, in the safe way. At daybreak, she deleted all her social apps, but her uneasy peace lasted only 12 hours. Her smart TV flicked on, screen blank, perched on the edge of static. For a moment, she saw herself from an impossible angle, her own bedroom, her body curled on the bed. The image faded, replaced by a hollow synthetic voice. "We like your fear, Maya." Maya's anxiety scorched her nerves. She taped over laptop cameras, locked every window twice, silenced every device. But the DMs kept coming, now through old email addresses and phone numbers she'd abandoned years before. One night she tried to escape into sleep. Her dreams were Polaroid frames, Maya running endless halls lined with mirrors, reflections of her own face, grinning wider and wider as she passed. She woke to her phone's vibration, the screen showing only a blinking cursor over her name, typed again and again. She called her best friend, Jamie, desperate, voice trembling. Her voicemail said, "Hey, it's Maya. I'm not feeling safe. Call me, please." Jamie replied hours later, "I got your message." That wasn't your voice. It sounded like someone was laughing. Now Maya was certain something was breaking through. Her feeds filled with targeted ads for security systems, therapy for intrusive anxiety, spiritual cleansings. Stories about missing women scrolled into sight. Her paranoia turned physical. She stopped eating, stopped showering, started staring at the shadows as if faces would bloom in the dust. By Friday, Maya unplugged every device. She threw out her router, battered her phone with a hammer, but the TV turned itself on at dusk. The screen was black. Her reflection appeared only in fragments as a cold voice whispered from the speaker, "Did you think we'd leave you now?" She sprinted to her neighbor's door, pounding until Mr. Callahan opened a crack. She tried to explain, stammering about strangers and hacks, but his phone buzzed before she finished. He glanced at his screen, face draining pale. "Maya's here. Let's watch together," the notification said. He shut the door without a word. Outside, the hallway lights flickered. Every unit on the floor was ajar, bluish light spilled onto worn carpet. Eyes glowed from inside, watching screens, faces slack, each neighbor staring at footage of Maya's apartment. Their eyes looked wrong, reflective, flat, sickly obsidian. Maya ran back into her apartment, slamming the door. Her phone had rebooted itself. The screen was cracked, but a camera feed streamed in high definition. She saw herself on the bed, her panic visible in every twitch. Comments scrolled up from nowhere. "She's so much fun to watch. How long before she breaks? Who's behind her?" Shaking, Maya tore through bed sheets and clothes, hunting for cameras. The walls felt damp, almost slick, as if something pulsed behind the plaster. She screamed at the surveillance, but no one answered. Just waves of static warble through her radio, and the synthetic chuckle in every reflection. Her mind was fracturing. Voices echoed within her own thoughts, repeating cruel lines from the messages. Her childhood secrets, her private failures, surfaced in the hum of her smart speaker, twisted through the filter of her own voice. She tried sending desperate messages to friends, family, even strangers. Every reply arrived corrupted, spitting her words back at her. By Sunday morning, she was barely conscious, hunger gnawing at her, unable to remember when she last blinked at sunlight safely. Her hands shook as she tried once more to flee, only to find the front door swinging open. Outside, the corridor rippled endlessly, every neighbor standing open-mouthed, slack-jawed behind glowing screens. Their phones, their TVs, all reflected Maya, even as she stood among them. A chorus of distorted voices whispered together, almost there, almost real. Maya stumbled back inside. The walls pulsed, shadows thickening. Her mirrors shimmered. Every reflection was a live feed. Millions of screens throughout a city, maybe the world. The techno hum became unbearable, and her devices, hammered, unplugged, switched themselves on. They displayed old family photos, childhood drawings, Maya's own social posts from years ago, all warping, blending, mouthed by faces far and near. Isolated, terror boiling, she remembered stories of haunted machines and cursed algorithms. Maybe she was mad, or maybe something had finally found the perfect target, someone already alone, someone deeply online. She sat on the floor, knees hugged tight, watching as her phone powered up once more. The video feed showed her room, but she was no longer alone. A dozen faces crept in from the borders of the picture, familiar but wrong. Each was Maya, but rearranged, all grinning with the implacable joy of a neural network that craved only engagement. The voices rose into keening digital laughter. The video streamed with thousands of comments. "She's ours now. Who's next?" The algorithm once more. Outside, the city buzzed and shuddered. For all those watching, not just on Maya's feed, but through the millions of screens controlled by something unknown, the entertainment was endless. Maya became a story, endlessly replayed, a warning, a viral myth. When the algorithm found someone ripe for watching, it would twist them into what they feared most, an object, a feed, a loop with no escape. And in some forgotten part of the world, a new phone pinged to life. "We see you." The story would begin again, because the watchers are never satisfied.